What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to talk about what to expect from these patch notes coming soon. Now, it is currently February 5th, 5 p.m. The update, according to the launcher for Americas, is February 8th, 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. PST. Now, that's basically when this video drops, which will be dropping tomorrow. That's essentially the day after that. So tomorrow, as of you guys watching this video, we should have the patch live, which means today we might get patch notes. And I want to be here just to make a couple potential predictions. But you can see here, February 16th. Or January 16th is when we got the patch, and then January 13th is when we actually got the patch notes. So if we just jump back again, that was a 3-day difference. So honestly, today was supposed to be a patch that we might have gotten, right? But we did not. So I'm expecting it to drop the day of this video drops, so we'll see what to expect and if I'm correct on any of this or things that I would like to see in this patch coming up. First things first, they mentioned in this previous patch that they said there's going to be a 3 weeks from now. That was January 13th, and assuming they're going to base it off of January 16th, the month goes to the 31st, I believe. So that's roughly around January or February 6th. So the patch notes roughly are accurate, right? 3 weeks from now. So pretty accurate. We would have been expecting it like today, tomorrow, the following day, around that time. And it looks like we're going to get that. They also mentioned that this next concept update, they didn't really mention about what it would be, but they say this concept update is a real firecracker. So without delay, let's dig in. So we don't really know if it's going to be a major update or a minor update. We don't know their update cadence for major/minor updates. They kind of do them, as they mentioned a little while ago. They mentioned that they'll just release them when they get them done. So we don't know if it's going to be a major update. We don't know if it's going to be a minor update. There's no confirmation for that, but we hope it's a major update, right? To be honest, this last update with the Fractured Plane, the Lunar New Year event, the feature updates. Keep in mind, guys, in this update, we got 36 items. We got the Legendary Essence Extraction System. We got the set drop pity, which I'm still testing, by the way. I still have to run a lot more dungeons because I wanted to be accurate. Cross-server dungeons, Immortal system improvements, the Treasure Hunter works everywhere. All these different things, new Resonance Wings. This felt like a major update to me. This felt like a major update, but it's not. So are we going to get a major update? Can't say for certain, but I will say that it wouldn't be surprising if we did. Now, with that being said, let's talk about what it might be. So first off, we have the Q&A series, which was released a week after of that patch notes dropping. And here's what they mentioned. They answered a couple of questions. Additional stash space. They say which events are currently live, how calendar, is there new PvP content? In the last major update, you made tweaks to the monk class. It's going to be more balancing. Are there plans for more engaging events? Are you going to be able to activate multiple Paragon trees? And then even before that, what are the things that we didn't get? Well, they already mentioned cross hell difficulty, but they didn't actually get character appearance and such. They mentioned they're going to do a facial recustomization feature, which they did do, but also ability to hide your character's helmet. We are already in the thick of production on this feature's implementation. This was back in December, so I expect this to be maybe something that we see. We already have the new zone, and we already have the new Heliquary kind of update. So the only thing we're missing from here is the cosmetics thing, which I hope to see, and I think that is very possible to see. Are we going to get anything from this Q&A system series? I don't know, to be honest, because they were very, very ambiguous with everything that they mentioned here. They mentioned it's going to be coming soon. They have a few things to release. And of these things, not many of them did they mention in their official post here, which was this from Pez Radar 16 days ago. As of right now, that was about the same time that the Q&A series dropped. This is what they mentioned is kind of going to be their roadmap for the year ahead. And so they didn't really mention a whole lot of stuff in that Q&A series in this post. But these are the things that we are probably going to be seeing within one of these things within the next update here upcoming. So you can see here, they released 2 major updates that added a new zone, dungeon, enemy types, and much more. This year, we plan to release 4 major updates containing improvements to clans, in-game social features, and gameplay. Okay? So if they're releasing 4 major updates, it's a reasonable assumption to do Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 updates. What that means is Q1 refers to the first quarter of the year. There's 12 months in a year, which means within the first 3 months, we're planning to see a major update. We are now in the second month of Q1. I wouldn't be surprised if this is our first major update of the year, okay? And within these 4 major updates, they mentioned, again, clans, in-game social features, and gameplay. New classes, hella great bosses. So they also mentioned a new competitive game mode and fishing activity. So with that being said, what can we expect in this first update? Well, as I mentioned, I hope to see cosmetic changes. I hope to see improvements to clans. If you've been paying attention to the data miner, he actually posted a Reddit post talking about clan PvP, clan v clan PvP, and clan PvE bossing. That's potentially something that we could see, and adjustments to the clan system to where you do not need to go ahead and necessarily join a clan to get all the benefits from it. Potentially. Again, this is not confirmed. This guy also mentioned fishing and Blood Knight like, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever. I went over it so long ago, and that was in this major update, or not major update, but the roadmap from Pez Radar. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. And then, of course, I dropped a poll a day ago talking about what you guys wanted to see in the next content update. I went over a Reddit post that really talked about PvPing, and to be honest, all comments, all Reddit posts and things like that are all the more dedicated players. Keep in mind that also I ran a poll the other day. If I just go to the posts here, I talked about how long has anyone been playing Diablo Immortal? 1.2k votes, 61% of you since day one. If you include the 5 to 7 months, which is pretty close to day one, that's a total of 76% of you have been here for a majority of the game. Only about, I would say, 16% of you are what I would consider new players, which is pretty crazy to me. So with that graphic, with that in mind, a lot of these votes and a lot of things on Reddit are going to be reflective of the people that have been in the game a long time and the more dedicated population. The more dedicated population of the game, they want to see really 3 things. It's pretty close too. The PvP overhaul, the new PvP content post here, and the quality of life added to the game. Now, the PvP overhaul, as I mentioned, that could be clan v clan, that could be a non-resonance based PvP, it could be 1v1s, 2v2s, something like that, or just a new map. New PvE content can include, as I said, a clan boss, new potential raids or something like that. We could see new ways to farm, or something similar to the Fractured Plane, which is a really interesting PvE content game mode, although that might fit under better events and is kind of what I would consider that, if it's going to be considered like the Fractured Plane. And then of quality of life things, we're thinking of cross-class cosmetics, something that we've asked for a long time. The hide helmet slot that we went over earlier on in the video. Easier salvaging, this is a big one as of the Legendary Essence transfer system. You have to go through and click individually. It's actually a really annoying process. They need to have a extract all button. And for those of you that say, oh, someone was gonna mess up on that, I mean, it's literally an extract all button. So if you mess up, like, don't hit the button. Like if you want to extract it individually, you won't mess up. If you hit the extract all button, then yeah, you can mess up, but you can choose just not to hit it. So I don't really see a downside to that one. But these things, all of these three things I agree with. To me personally, the thing I want most is combination of better events and PvE content. I want to see better events and better rewards for people in relation to PvE content. Me personally, I think PvP overhaul is, I don't think you could do it in a way that makes PvP a little bit more interesting to me. The reason I say that is because it's a pay to win game. I don't see them adding a game mode where pay to win aspect is removed from it. Therefore, PvP is much less interesting to me due to the fact that it's pay to win, right? There's a lot less pure skill involved. I played League of Legends for 7 years. I've climbed like Grandmaster. I enjoy doing that because, well, it's pure like playing the game, practice, and skill. In this game, it is what it is. There is skill to it for sure, but if you're gonna compare someone like, again, the average free-to-play, or even someone like myself, a 3K Resonance player, who has a significant advantage over those 1Ks, I can't compete against a 7K Resonance player directly. It has to be a completely different playstyle. So I'm actually locked into a certain playstyle in order for me to be useful, and I don't like that aspect at all. So, well, I do think that PvP, especially with a Resonance balanced game mode, could be very interesting, and I would be really interested in that. And I hope they go that way. I don't think that will happen. So I take that one with a grain of salt. But all of these three things are desperately needed in the game, to be honest. I'm surprised not as many people pick bug fixes. To me, that's also something that's really high on my list. Although I could see why people didn't vote for that because, well, it should kind of just be in the game already. Like, they should be fixing bugs along with doing these other things. So that's kind of what I'm expecting for this next update and what you guys wanted. Again, the things that we can expect are the things that they mentioned, potentially a clan system revamp, potentially a social system revamp, some things that they promised a long time ago, like potentially a new class, a new potentially cosmetic kind of adjustments like the hide helmet slot. We could potentially see that. I wouldn't be surprised to see any and all of these things. And I also wouldn't be surprised to see way more than I'm talking about because, again, we have to get 4 major updates. That's what they committed to in their post. Therefore, we should probably be seeing one every quarter. And therefore, I'm expecting this next one to be a major update. We'll see. Maybe I'll post this video and the patch notes will be dropping around the same time. I'll probably release it a little bit earlier on in the morning so you guys can kind of get your thoughts out. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Would you say that this poll is pretty accurate of what you guys wanted? And is there anything that they mentioned specifically? Because I know there's so many different things that we talked about across the whole game. But anything in this specific post right here that you might want to see more so than anything else? Do you want to see the clan revamp? Do you want to see the in-game social features? Do you want to see the new class and Helicrate bosses? Which one do you want to see the most? Me personally, it's got to be the new class and then the new PvE content. And I'm also actually quite interested in this, what they call the new competitive mode. I'm actually curious to see what that is. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all tomorrow.